papers filed by Nathan Wade's ex-wife claim the two took multiple trips together, including a Royal Caribbean cruise, a weekend in Aruba, and it goes on. Credit card statements subpoenaed in the case appear to back up the claim. A House committee has now subpoenaed her to testify on Capitol Hill. Wade paid close to $700,000. Willis calling the allegations against her a spectacle and a circus. Former President Trump says he wants Willis removed and the case dismissed. This is USA News.
Omaha Steaks is rewriting the book on burgers with an all-new handmade texture for the juiciest home-style burgers you've ever tasted. Their pure ground burgers are made from single cuts of real aged Omaha steaks. These are truly steaks on a bun. Filet mignon, ribeye,
yeah,
New York
just have her
strip
call
sirloin,
in.
and even brisket burgers.
The number is 508.
Burger Perfection Flight for just $79.99. Go to omahasteaks.com and use promo code TREAT at checkout to get an extra $20 off your order, plus free shipping. You'll get 4 of each pure ground burger, so you can sample all the steak on bun
the
greatness.
number
These burgers are
is
crafted for
508
the juicier, more tender
822.
experience, making your mouth water with every single bite. Don't wait. Go to omahasteaks.com. Use promo code TREAT
1106
$20
and
off Burger
tell her
Perfection
to
Flight.
call in
Discover
at
your
7:20 a.m. That is when we're going to take our first commercial break.
Turning now to sports, if you're wondering how much it will cost to see the Super Bowl live in Las Vegas next Sunday, the answer is more than $5,000. That's how much tickets are going for on StubHub right now. The most expensive VIP package listed at
I was wrong about Mr. Belichick. I owe Joey. Joey was right. I was wrong. I'm willing to admit it.
Well, like I said, either he's gonna sit the season out or he's gonna go college. I can't see him in the announcer booth, but
They were talking about it though. There's like a lot of sports radio. They were saying that he.
my brother was supposed to come in last week, but he never made it. Overslept. I guess we end up talking about
Baldwin is
a little bit of
pleading not
football.
guilty to do involuntary manslaughter.
So you're not a big
charges.
football.
The
My
fatal
God, my leg putting weight on this chair is like falling as I sit. I'm going lower and lower.
Yeah, that's just fucked up.
All right, I feel better. I thought it was my bulbous body.
Court document filed Wednesday. I'm Ryan Daniels.
Tomorrow, Weathers.
Yeah, I like football. I mean, I don't know like you guys know it. You know what I mean?
Died. He was 76 years old. He was
Action Jackson died.
Oh yeah, that makes me sad. He was
Yeah,
great.
he was
He
awesome.
did so many great stuff. I mean, people forget. He was also in The Heat of the Night with Archie Bunker. He did a lot of stuff that people don't even know about. I even forgot he was. And I used to love him in Heat of the Night. I loved him in Rocky. Well, you're a big Rocky fan, Joey.
I am a huge
Did
Rocky
not see his shadow.
It's only 76. They didn't say how he passed away, so I don't know. In his sleep, but I
He
don't.
was supposed to come to Boston. He was
He
his
was-
last.
He was sick, I think. I think he was sick. He was definitely sick. He didn't look good.
He was great in Happy Gilmore too. I thought he was hilarious in Happy Gilmore.
Oh, they showed something on Facebook of remember at the end when you passed away, and it had the lizard, it had him, and it had somebody else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It said,
yeah.
rest in peace.
That was awesome. And Predator, I thought was really good too.
But something to do with the Star Wars series is the jinx on because somebody else died not too long ago too. Who was it?
Yeah, Ray Stevenson
Ray
died.
Stevenson
He wasn't
died.
in Star Wars, was he?
No, he was in one of the miniseries. He was in The Mandalorian.
Okay. Oh, that's right. I just yes, and I had never watched that. One of my friends, I had no idea because I always say there is no tomorrow, Rocky, and he sent that to me, and I'm like, that's weird, like out of nowhere, and then he sent the obituary.
It's safe, it's fast, and allows us to get
Action Jackson.
Oh, it was great. Loved that. Loved
your
it.
community announcements.
Didn't age well though, John. When I went back and looked at it, it didn't age. Some movies don't age well.
What movie?
Action Jackson.
Oh, it's too 80s.
But you know a movie that I still loved was with the guy that was a wrestler. He was a really good wrestler. It was They Live.
They Live.
Yeah, Roddy Piper.
Yes, Roddy Piper. That was
a movie. That was a good movie.
It was a really good movie.
Just like.
Were you a Rush? Did you like the WWF back in the day?
Nah, not really. I mean, I wasn't really a big into sports.
That was a big.
No.
I started right around 2007.
I lived in Florida, and I watched with my stepfather in the 70s, Fox Baker and Dusty Rhodes and stuff like that, but no.
Dusty is great.
Dude, you're slow. You are.
Are you Yellow mic? Yellow mic, okay, and
surrounding towns.
green mic,
For the Middleboro
and
Weekend
then blue
Review
mic.
with your host, Joey Driscoll. Stay tuned.
Did you get a
for
shot of
news.
caffeine yet?
Middleboro news. Here
Yeah,
on AM
yeah, so
1530 WVBS.
waiting for it to work.
Hey, Joey, what's happening?
And good morning. I'm sorry. Well, the music ended there, so I didn't have to turn it down that time.
Because I turned the music down.
Well, the music
Is that your
ended
new
that
kick?
time, so.
As I turn the music down.
Yeah.
Say it all now. Yeah?
Good morning, everybody. Today is February 4th, 2024. Before we do anything else, I want to wish my co-host a very happy birthday.
Oh.
Happy birthday.
I can't sing happy birthday, can I? Because
No.
the copyright,
No.
right?
The copyright goblins will get you.
Yeah, I know they're very upset on TikTok about all these songs they can't do. They're like taking off. People made all these songs.
Universal
They're
Music Group,
Goodbye,
yeah.
they're gone. They can't do them anymore. But John, a very, very, very
Yeah.
happy, healthy birthday.
Thank you, Joey. I appreciate it. I feel-
29?
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, I'm 29 and I have a 24-year-old kid, a 25-year-old kid. Good on that, huh? Yeah.
I want to say good morning to our guest, Chuck Hart. Good morning, Chuck.
Joe and John, always a pleasure to be here. I look forward to the
We
first
love
one.
having you here.
I love being here. I really do. You guys are great.
You know what I mean?
You guys are
And
great.
and I got, you know what Chuck brought me? I got me coffee. Okay, I didn't even coffee this one, but he got me like the chocolate cream pie with a little heart.
Heart-shaped donut
Yeah.
for your birthday.
Oh yeah.
And it's almost Valentine's Day.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about Valentine's Day. Oh boy, I walk around my nose. Oh boy, I'm such
it's
I'm
only
such a
10 days
Scrooge
away.
about that. But I mean, the whole
It's not one of your favorite holidays?
No, but it kills me. You know what gets me on these holidays? You can get candy, or you start picking stuff from the stores 2 days before Christmas.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that's the candy you're gonna give your sweetheart. It's pretty stale right now.
true.
Forrest Gump would be be kind of upset here. But no, it's just it's just now they probably the next holiday is St. Patrick's Day, obviously.
They're already into that too.
They're into Easter now, I bet. Yeah,
They are.
I don't know why they push stuff down so early. It's just
It's commercialism.
nauseating.
It's commercialism. They
It-
go.
it-
I
it's
was in Home
nauseating.
Goods yesterday with my wife.
It does the exact opposite to me, though.
Yeah. You're right.
I don't
It
want
makes
to.
you-
I mean, whatever. I mean, you have to do what you got to do, but I'm not going to be doing with a smile on my face. You know what I mean? My father had he used to say, he had this expression, "I'm stymied," meaning, I'm not going to go quietly. I'm not budging. I'm not, I'm not subscribing to what you want me to do. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. You know what I mean?
It's all marketing right there.
No
Preview.
phony smiles.
No phony smiles on you. I like that. That's what we were just talking about. That.
No
But
phony
I
smiles.
will tell you, John, that they're marketing. They're getting ready. They're
Yeah.
sitting. It's
But
like trailers. It's like movies.
But
that have
everyone I
trailers.
talk to, and that's everybody, and everyone that I know, I could ask, and they say the same thing. So I'm sure if they're saying the same thing, that most people must mean it, number one. So I'm sure, it has to affect the market.
Oh, it definitely does.
But
Absolutely.
why would you do that? What kind of brain trust thinks about that?
It absolutely. It's what do they call it? Supply and demand. If it wasn't working, they wouldn't be doing it. So the people can say that they don't like it, but they're going and purchasing these things well ahead of time.
Yeah.
And then the after sales are amazing. Like the day after Christmas, the day after, it'll all go down 50%, and then 75%, and then 90%. So
Right.
but they're marketing geniuses.
Joey,
They're marketing
speaking
geniuses.
of marketing genius, and this isn't an infomercial either, but we have a friend who owns an ice cream place in Middleboro. It's called Joyful Scoops.
Ooh,
And,
you should open a day. I'll go for
No.
breakfast.
She's close to the season, but what she has, name's Catherine, and her husband Doug. They open it. It's a beautiful, beautiful place right on Route 105 in Middleboro, Thompson Street actually. They have pop-up weeks, and she came on the show like 3 times already. But I'm not sure. I mean, we got a guest next Sunday.
Next Sunday, yeah.
So I'm not sure if she's going to be able to come on the show. I did let her know that Joey might have something available next week, but it's just for some reason, if she doesn't get on the show, she has a pop-up weekend, Joyful Scoops, and let's see here. They have
It's definitely joy and ice cream. No doubt about that.
Oh, yeah. It's February 10th to the 15th, pop-up week.
So Super Bowl week, right?
Super Bowl
Well,
weekend next
it's for Valentine's Day, really.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
You know, February 10th, 15th, pop-up weekend. The 10th is what Friday? Saturday, I'm sorry, 10th, 12 to 8. Sunday,
Give the best
11, not 12 to 5, the 11th, and which is the Super Bowl Sunday. And Monday through Thursday, 3 to 7. So, but look at this. Look at the ice cream. Wow. Oh, look at that. Oh, you know? Oh, my God. You know?
All right, that's on the list.
No, but like I said, not sure if she's going to be able to make it on the Sunday before a pop-up. I just wanted to mention that. What a great little place, and we always enjoy.
And where is it again, exactly?
It's on Thompson Street in Middleboro. 139 Thompson Street. It's Joyful Scoops. It's a great place. And
It's on my bucket list.
yeah, it's a good place.
I love ice cream.
You know, they're a beautiful place.
You don't get to sit in a seat like this at the studio and have it like drop. Like I thought I was going to end up in the basement. So, but you did tell me that
They got a 1936 farm mall tractor sitting out front. So I mean, it's just they did a nice job on it. But you know, I figure you might be getting a call or whatever,
Yeah.
Joey. But
I,
it's our favorite ice cream place, and we like to you know, it's a Middleboro business, and we like to do shout outs sometimes. You know.
I want to fly through some of the things we gotta do here in the first segment. The weather first. 24 degrees in Taunton. Sunny skies today. The sun will return finally after what seems like 7 months.
it really does.
But it returns today, 40 degrees, and the sun kind of returns, and the temperatures kind of go up corresponding to that. 40 degrees today. It's going to be in the 30s on Monday and Tuesday, but no rain in the forecast at all. By next weekend, it will be into the 50s. So nice weather coming up. Middleboro, 26 degrees, a high of 40 and a low of 25 tonight. Sunny skies today. 34 in Driscoll, Texas. Driscoll, North Dakota, not Driscoll, Texas. We'll get to Driscoll, Texas in a second. 34 degrees in Driscoll, North Dakota. Cloudy skies, a high of 40, low of 32. It has dramatically warmed up in Driscoll, North Dakota from just a few weeks ago where it was almost in the negatives every single day, but it has dramatically warmed up.
That weather pattern's a cliff. It really
Very weird weather pattern. Yes, 55 degrees in Driscoll, Texas, a high of 78 and a low of 53 today. Very windy today, which means there is a fire weather warning for anyone who's listening in the Driscoll, Texas area. Red flag warning remains in effect from 9 a.m. this morning to 9 p.m. this evening for strong winds, low relative humidity for the western coastal plains and brush country. So just wanted to.
It's funny you say that, Joey. It's funny you say that because you never know if somebody from Driscoll, Texas is listening because they might have got wind that you've been doing the weather for Driscoll, North Dakota and Driscoll, Texas for
So if anyone is listening in Driscoll, Texas, just be aware. Red flag warning, fire warning, so just be careful there. I want to mention the passing of Carl Weathers. Just an amazing actor who we lost this week. He, of course, was in Rocky, the first 4 Rocky films. And he was also in so many other great films as well. Happy Gilmore, Action Jackson. He was in Predator as well. Really great role in Predator. He was in several other films as well. Just great actor. He was in his last movie role was Toy Story 4. In television, he's been all over the place when it comes to television. ER, he was on Psych. He was on Chicago PD, Chicago Justice, Star versus the Forces of Evil. He was in The Mandalorian as Grief Karga for 10 episodes. I don't know if he is in the... I think he might be in the next season as well. But I think some of the next season has been filmed. So you might see him again in the next season. You might not.
I think it's Disney's fault. No, I'm not going to say it, but it's just why all of a sudden two great actors working for Disney have passed away. You know?
Oh, he was also in Law and Order. Like pretty much every single actor on the planet.
And like Chuck said too, he was in the heat of the night.
Yeah.
Yes.
Was he like a regular? Was he like a
short term? But he was like maybe did
guest
one or
star?
two seasons. No, he's more than a guest star.
Okay.
But John, I want to say like maybe it was a
what
later
character did he
seasons.
play? Because he wasn't
I
Tibbs.
don't remember.
He wasn't,
He came in. I think Tibbs had left.
Oh, okay.
And then he came in
All right, yeah.
after that.
I'm going to mention our sports today. We're going to mention one sport and one sport only, and that is the return of NASCAR for the 2024 season. It has returned. The Busch Light Clash at the Coliseum was yesterday. What an awesome idea that NASCAR came up with when it comes to racing at the LA Coliseum. And how small that track is, Don, and how small the football stadium.
You know what? I got more excited with when Chicago opened up this year.
Chicago was fun last year. Yes, they'll be back this year.
I love that. I love Ali and hand it to Lori Lightfoot, Chicago former Chicago mayor. She's one green light of that.
Denny Hamlin won the potentially what could be the final Busch Light Clash at the Coliseum. I don't know what will happen next year, but there's been some rumors that race will be moving out of the LA Coliseum, which would be disappointing, but maybe this is something that they're looking at when it comes to taking the Clash all over the place year to year. Maybe they go international, do an international race for the Clash next year. Montreal was talked about. Canada was talked about when it comes to having a race in NASCAR. So maybe that's where they put the Montreal race next year, the Clash for next season.
I think of a Clash with that rock band from the 1980s.
Yeah.
I want to sing, but I know I can't.
No.
Congratulations.
No.
Congratulations to Denny Hamlin. Congratulations to Daniel Suarez winning the NASCAR Mexico Series race that was also held at the Clash. First time since, I want to say, 2007 that they had a race outside of Mexico, the NASCAR Mexico Series, and it was on national television as well. A lot of people were watching it. A lot of people were excited for that race, and it was a really good race. Daniel Suarez wins that race, and it's not the last you're going to hear about the NASCAR Mexico Series, that's for sure, in the United States. I think they'll have more races in the United States, and that should be fun. It's excuse me. It is 7:21. We're going to take our first commercial break right now, and when we come back, we're going to have Chuck Hart joining us. Don, of course, will be joining us, and we'll have someone joining us on the phone as well. The Middleboro St. Vincent de Paul president.
We got the former president, not royalty.
Yes, and we have the former president sitting across from us.
Got all the secret, you got the Secret Service out back. You got helicopter landed here at WBBS studios just a few minutes ago. So I mean, that's for the former president. I wonder, that's about the.
So that's coming right up here on WVBF 1530 AM 99.7 FM. We will be right back here on Middleboro and Radio. Bye-bye. Not bye-bye, everybody, but bye-bye for 3 seconds or 3 minutes or however long the commercial is.
But they say bye-bye.
Joey, there is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow.
We'll be right back.
Hopefully she's calling it now.
Yeah,
Did she get back yet?
Yeah, she's good. She's good. She's.
I believe this is her.
She's excited but anxious because this is all new. And I said this. I said Joey and John will lead you through the whole thing. It's like.
Yeah.
Are you there, caller? One second here. Let's see if I can hear you. Are you there, caller?
You got the volumes up?
The volume.
Yes, I do. I don't know why it's not working. Alright, I'm gonna have a call back. Because, yeah, I don't know what's happening there. Okay, good. Turn that down. Okay, that's good. Alright, yeah, I'm gonna try this again.
Can you switch me to
And
red
let's
light?
say good morning, caller. You are on Middleboro in review. We're on a commercial break right now. Is this
Olinda
caller?
Morrison.
Olinda Morrison? Hello?
Hello?
Uh,
Yes, this is Olinda Morrison.
Yep, I can hear you now, caller. Thank you, Olinda. All right, we're on a commercial break right now, and we'll be right back.
Good morning, Linda. How you doing?
Good morning, Olinda. It's Chuck.
Okay.
Thank you for doing this. You're in good hands. Joey and Don will guide you through the process.
Okay.
You have nothing to fear but fear itself.
Yes.
Who said that, Don?
Franklin Roosevelt.
Very good.
Yeah.
You are a historian.
Yeah, it's just, everyone knows that.
You'd be surprised.
I was watching a video on the 1924 election, and how interesting Calvin Coolidge,
Cool cow.
as president, was. How interesting he was.
He was he was governor of Massachusetts,
Yes.
and he was mayor of Northampton.
I did not know that.
Yep.
I knew the governor of Massachusetts, but I
And
didn't know
he
the mayor.
was sworn in up in Vermont when Harding died.
Poor Harding.
Yeah.
They say the Harding administration was one of the most corrupt administrations in the history of a country. And he couldn't say no. He had a really hard time
And
saying no.
Yeah.
Grant might be up there too.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
Who?
Grant.
Grant.
Grant's
Corruption
administration
would
might be up there, but Grant, there might be a difference with Grant. Grant, he surrounded himself with his people who he trusted,
Yeah.
and they
that-
portrayed his trust.
Yeah.
Well, that's from just being a general, I guess. You know what I mean? You can just. I mean, you may have somebody who's qualified for the job, but if he's not in your inner circle, he ain't getting the job.
Yeah.
That's just how it is.
And Harding, he sounds like he was corrupt.
You know.
He sounds like he had some issues. He
Yeah.
sounded like he was very corrupt.
But I
Grant,
mean,
I think there's a difference between Grant.
it's funny. Bill O'Reilly's got a book coming out, and it's a little history about every president. You know.
Because he does those like he did killing Lincoln
Yeah.
and killing and I
Well,
read
he said
Killing
this is the
Lincoln and
first
Killing
book. This is the
JFK.
first book. But I'll be really surprised to see what he's got to write about William Harry Henderson. You know who he is, right?
Who's this?
William Harry Henderson.
William Harry Henderson?
Yeah.
Like from the Hendersons?
Yeah, William Harry Henderson.
I don't know who is that.
Harrison.
Harrison.
I don't know why.
I was like, what?
Harrison.
Remember the Hendersons in the
It's
TV show called The
Harrison.
Hendersons?
No, but you know why? That's why. Right?
Yeah.
Why?
Why? You tell me.
Yeah, you
I
tell
don't
me.
know. I don't know why is built like what part? It was a very short administration.
Yeah, 31 days.
Yeah,
So,
this is
I
the
mean-
shortest administration in the history. That's a good transition because my administration, being president of St. Vincent de Paul, was the shortest administration in the history of the organization.
How long was that?
Olinda, is that true?
I think so.
So we have a commonality. See,
Yeah.
see, William, Mr. Henderson, and I have a common.
How long were you in there for?
Olinda, was I like 6 months, Olinda, if even that?
Um,
You impeached me in day 5.
February, maybe 4.
Well, I started in October, so 4 months. Yeah.
20 seconds.
Probably about 6 months.
20 seconds. That's how long my administration lasted. 20 seconds.
Lots of food.
A 20-second administration.
I got it.
I made it longer than 31 days, though.
Give me the.
Yeah, 3, 2, 1, and 0.
Okay, welcome back to Middleboro in Review. I'm sitting with Chuck Hart. He is the former president of the St. Vincent de Paul Food Pantry, and on the line we have the current president of St. Vincent
St. Vincent de Paul.
Food Pantry.
Yes.
It's
It's actually the Sacred Heart.
now you hit a button and we're getting all this feedback. Why, Joe? Why? Why?
Well, you're not wearing your headphones, but that's okay.
Should we all put our headphones on?
Yeah.
Well, you can if you want.
I don't think I've ever worn it.
I have to put the audio up a little bit because I want to be able to hear
Yeah.
our guest. I don't have headphones.
You gotta turn my headphones on, don't you?
Okay. So we have. Let me turn that down a little. We have Olinda Morrison on the phone with us, the president of St. Vincent de Paul. Good morning, Olinda.
Good morning.
So I'm gonna ask the first question here. So as president, you've been president a couple of months so far. What have you accomplished so far for Middleboro St. Vincent de Paul? And as we enter 2024, we're already in 2024 pretty much. We're in February. What do you want to accomplish this year in 2024?
Well, what have I accomplished? I feel like I haven't really done anything because it's all the other people that do everything for me. But I basically just tried to maintain meetings with the members twice a month. A lot of conferences I'm not able to do that as often, but we find that if we don't meet twice a month, then there are too many issues that come up in between that need to be discussed. So you have, instead of having a long meeting, we have, we try to stay to like an hour. Some of the other accomplishments, we've completed our giving tree program this past December. We donated hundreds of, or thousands actually, of toys and gifts to our area recipients, and what else? Well, we've kept the pantry going, and we solved little problems that come up, and we try to take everyone that comes in as an individual, and their own, listen to them, see where they are in their lives and what it is that they need help in. We've also tried to communicate with the town, especially when it comes to the migrant population that's in our town.
I'm sorry, Linda. I feel that's something that is something you're dealing with more than what Chuck had to deal with or the other presidents had to deal with. That's a new challenge that I think you have to. I mean, I'm not speaking for you, Chuck. I'm not sure if you had to
No,
deal
if I
with
can
that
just say
much.
real quick, Olinda has, that was kind of Olinda is very humble, and I think that talking about her accomplishments is probably very challenging for her. Mm-hmm. And I just want to say, Olinda, that you have done, first of all, you're the first female president, which makes me so happy. And you have brought wisdom and compassion and love. And the other thing is you took over at a time when we had to deal with, not to deal with, but all of the Christmas meals, hundreds and hundreds of Christmas meals and hundreds of Thanksgiving Day meals to all those with food insecurity, not to mention our veterans that we service. And I agree with Donna. I think that this situation with the migrants, is it fair to say, is that, I want to make sure I'm saying the right thing, the refugees, migrants, I want to make sure that.
I don't know, just the migrants.
I would say the migrant living in the Middleboro community, you've done an exceptional job, and David Cunningham, everybody has, reaching out to them and recognizing them and making sacrifices. In fact, at one of our meetings, I think it was 1 or 2 meetings ago, the new town manager, within the last year, wrote a beautiful letter I think for what the Giving Tree was able to do, we were able to really make sure that every single child received something. And so, Linda, I know that you don't like to talk about yourself, and that was probably way more challenging of a question than you thought. But I think that honestly, honestly, you've done an incredible job. You really, really have. And I look forward to, Joey mentioned now, to talk about maybe what in 2024. But I look forward to all the great things to come. But Don said it. Don hit the nail on the head. You've inherited the presidency during an extraordinarily difficult time.
I think that I think this whole conversation we've been having for the last, I don't know, good year, 2 years, with introducing to Chuck, and have a great friendship. And Joey, this was Joey's baby. And during the pandemic, he picked it up in the station. He was the first personality to pick up, and he pushed it. You know, I got the interviews with David Cunningham and Ray. And then Chuck came on.
And Bill Pye. Bill Pye told me that he spoke to you.
And a few other people. So, I mean, I'm really proud of my son for doing that. And it seems like we have a nice little community with WVPF and St. Vincent de Paul Food Pantry in Middleboro. But, you know, Middleboro, Lakeville, Rochester, Carver. I mean, we can't forget those towns, too, even though. So, it's good. And as far as anybody who would take the helm from that, and you know, do the baton or whatnot, is good. And having Chuck next to me and we talk about it, he comes on often here. I think it's a good vehicle for your organization, and whatever we can do to help, we will. And like I said, I am so proud of Joey. I mean, this has been Joey. He spearheaded this for the radio station. He really played, and we have other food pantries in, you know, Taunton area and other places, and we have other. We have the one in Brockton, which Reverend
Pastor Ortiz Vandross.
Yeah, he has one with his church and stuff like that, and he came on. So the whole thing, but I mean, it's just it's good that Chuck takes the time to come in, and he's the life of the party. I mean,
that's not true.
And Linda, he brought coffee, and he got me chocolate donuts, little hearts on it because it's my birthday.
It's his birthday today, Olinda. Don's 29th birthday. But I wanted to say, Olinda, that's with, you know, having you sworn in, and listen, we laugh about it, but it says right in our rule that, you know, it's a responsibility to be president. It's a serious responsibility. And Don actually had the pleasure of coming down and seeing the food pantry in action. Like a year and a half ago.
I think it was about a year ago. December, I came down and I talked to everybody. I got the tour from Ray and David, and actually, I'm technically a volunteer. I have my paperwork submitted. I just haven't I got a lot of family stuff going on too, but I'm not sure how long the paperwork lasts for.
Probably have to fill out new paper.
After what, a year? Really?
Yeah.
No, really?
Pretty strict. Yeah, it's the archdiocese has pretty strong
It just
standards.
took us such a long time to get the ball rolling there. But I mean, but I talked to everyone, Patrick and everybody there. It's a well-oiled machine, so it must make you feel good. Now, before becoming president, were you a volunteer anyway for the longest time, every Saturday?
Actually, my background is speech therapy, so this is way out of my league.
Okay, yeah.
I retired earlier, so I needed to find something, and luckily it's just down the street for me, and I could walk there, and I volunteered, just started stocking the shelves, and then when someone needed a purchase agent because they didn't have anyone to kind of oversee that, and so I took on that little duty, and then became vice president, and now have stepped into the role of president.
We were joking off air. We're talking about William Harry Henderson, and anybody who's a history buff knows that William Harry Henderson was the shortest.
Harrison.
You're stuck on the Henderson TV show. There was a show called The Hendersons. And
Harrison, I'm sorry. Joey was looking at me.
I was very confused.
Are you for real?
I was very confused.
Well, all right. Okay. Harrison. Okay.
You got it.
I should remember because Benjamin Harrison
Yes.
was the president and he was his grandson. But it was a 31-day. It was a 31-day administration, so. He made it a little longer than he did.
Linda, I was longer than 31 days, right?
Yeah, it's not longer than that.
I think you pulled a coup. Was it a coup d'etat? No.
So was it? So you can look at his picture and say, just 2023.
They're still trying to get my picture. I won't give it.
If I may say something, it took a lot for Chuck to just step in when he did.
Right.
Because at that point, we didn't have a president. We didn't have anyone that was even, we were thinking of. No one wanted to take on the role. And here's this gentleman that, comes in, once a week or, maybe sometimes twice, but we kind of knew him and we enjoyed being around him.
Oh, he's awesome. He's a great guy.
And we asked him, how would you like to be president? And he's like, sure. And I think he thought it was a joke.
I actually did.
Yeah.
And so did my wife.
It's funny how Chuck, I mean, all the people who've had him, great interviews and whatnot, but for some reason, Chuck coming in here to the studio, and he's almost like one of the family here at WBBF. I really think so. And I really think having Chuck for your organization is key to your success, because he just brings a lot of life into it. And
we want him to continue.
Yeah.
I absolutely love having him around.
We hope to get you into the studio sometime when you have a chance. We'd like to meet you. And phone's different than the studio. Face to face is so much better. And it's just it's hard if you've never been on the radio. You don't know what to say, and not all DJs are really warm and understanding when it comes to people. I don't know. But we try to have fun here, and it's a celebration of life, I think, in any aspect. And I really look forward to my time, when Chuck comes in, and it's good.
I do too, Don.
We have a lot. We have a lot of fun, but he does really push everything as far as what. And Chuck, wait a second. What's that number? Oh, look!
No, I have to look. Linda, do you have the number memorized? Can you give the community the number? Because I don't have a number.
He never has it memorized.
For the pantry?
Yes.
Yes, 508-947-1717.
That's because you're a speech and language pathologist. You have to be bright and memorize things. The speech and language came out right there.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. Don't you think so, Linda?
She didn't look at her phone. You got to look at your phone.
No, I just want to say, Linda, that it's a blessing to know you and to be a part of this. We've been taking students there since 2014, 2013, 14, somewhere around there. And the students get so much out of it. And of course, Patrick and David and Dwayne when he was there. And we were invited Dwayne even invited students to his wedding. That's how connected we became. So it's just a blessing to be part of this. And I just want to say thank you for taking the responsibility to become president, and you, like I said, you're with the migrant thing and with all. There's a million and one things that go on, and you're doing a great job. And just please keep it up.
I can just do my best. That's all I can do.
And keep in mind too, Linda, Melinda, right?
Melinda.
Linda. Okay. There's Joey has a show called Middleboro Matters. It is 11 a.m. on Thursdays. So if you ever want to come down to the studio sometime, or call Joey and you can actually do a one-on-one and talk about the food pantry if you have time.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'd love to have you. You can check out the studio. You can check out the 25th century media studio. Yeah.
In the words of Barry Sanders.
Yeah.
And Joey runs Barry Sanders, by the way, is a city councilor for the city of Taunton. Joey runs commercials for us, correct? They're pretty,
Yes.
talking about the food pantry on the radio
Right.
throughout the day, right? It happens at
Thank you.
various
Throughout the day.
times. Yeah.
Right. So if you want
Thank you so much.
to pipe up and do a commercial, I'm sure Joey could help you. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I do think your speech and language background would help you to do that commercial. Ola.
Well,
I think you-
it's still Dave LaPre's voice that does it, right?
Yeah. Yes. The one that we do have. Yes.
And then Joe
And it's mine.
and then your voice, right? Yeah. So but it's important that people understand that there's a lot of people out there giving their time for St. Vincent de Paul Food Pantry
Yeah, there are.
and
Yeah, speaking of that, Olinda, I was able to, because if people are interested in volunteering, Patrick Still, I was there Tuesday, and there's 2 brand new volunteers. I just met a couple of retired guys. It was good to see two new energetic people that came in, because I know Patrick is still in need of people Monday through Friday. Is that correct?
Yeah, he's always looking for gentlemen that can lift. That's the biggest thing right now. And we were able to put out in paper, this Nemasket paper.
Yes,
And
yes.
I think that's where we got some of our people coming in and realizing that there was the need. So that was that worked out nicely.
Yeah, and it's 40 pounds. Oh, Linda, it's 40 pounds or more. Was that? It was 40 pounds,
Yeah.
up to 40 pounds.
Yeah.
Okay. So people that feel comfortable lifting up to 40 pounds. And it was Monday through Friday. What were the hours?
He's there early.
Okay.
I'd say by 7 to. He's out of there by 11.
Okay, great.
So it's just in the morning.
that's great. Like I said, I want to thank you for calling in and your service. And like I said, what a great organization. And again, I mean, I know I'm a little
Thank you.
biased about my
Yes.
son, and he's looking at me like, stop it, But he really spearheaded this during the pandemic, and
Yeah.
it was Joey all along. He was just, and then he started, calling and getting interviews with I think Ray LaPlaire.
Ray LaPlaire,
Yeah,
yeah.
he was the first one. And did he ever get into the studio?
I don't know. It's just phone.
I think.
How did you find out about St. Vincent de Paul?
I just heard about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just heard about it. I knew it was in Middleboro.
Yeah, so I mean, you're talking a 21-year-old kid from
Thank you,
town
Jordan. Thank you.
Yeah.
with a platform
Yeah.
that was given to him.
And I appreciate you giving us a platform also, because these are really important conversations.
Well,
And,
the pandemic changed all the
Yeah.
games,
Yeah.
and you had to look at it differently. There was a lot of people
yeah.
who didn't have
Yeah.
and whatever he can do, that's why I'm so proud of him, because he comes in and he makes a difference.
But Linda, what do you think? We have a future Vincentian sitting across the table from me?
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
You know what? I know if I know my son, he doesn't want praise. He just wants to know that what he did
Makes a difference.
Makes a difference.
Yeah.
He's gonna move on to something else and do something else to make a difference. And I think what I see from my perspective too is it seems to be working. And you look at a well-oiled machine, and you look at professionals, and you look at people from all these backgrounds, and who are getting together to help people.
Yeah.
That's America.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It is. It really is.
That's America. So, Linda, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm thinking about Lindy's. It was in Quincy. Linda Mays. You ever heard of that restaurant in Boston?
Linda Mays, I have.
Yeah, that's it. We used to go there for breakfast all the time. But there was an old Lindy's in Quincy. It was actually it's still open. So I never
heard of it.
I never heard of O in front of Linda. So that's where the O come from, you know?
It's a Portuguese name.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah, I'm good at messing up names. You know,
So am I.
but, you know, Henderson's.
Yes. How about the O. Henderson?
Yeah.
President O. Henderson.
Yeah.
So we have a couple minutes left in the segment. I want to thank Olinda for calling in today. How can people get a hold of the food pantry and maybe get a hold of you if they have a question for you?
You can also call the food pantry. A lot of times, if I'm around quite a bit, but if I'm not there, most of the time people will leave a message and I will call back. So they leave the message on the 508-947-1717 number and leave a message that they would like to talk to me if I'm not there, and I will get back to them.
Okay, I want to thank you once again, Olinda, for calling in today. We'll have you on again.
Yeah, you want to come? You want to
sure.
come down to the
In
studio?
the future? Either in the studio or calling in.
Well, Joey's around on Thursday. I'm his co-host on Sunday, but I always bribe my guests with munchkins.
Coffee. Coffee as well. So thank you so much, Olinda, for calling in today.
Okay, you're welcome, and thank you very much for reaching out to people and letting them know about us.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Olinda. Have a great day.
Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right, it's 7:49 a.m. We're going to take our last commercial break right now. When we come back, a few more minutes, talk about some Neil Diamond, talk about our Today in History
Oh,
as
can we
well.
talk about Stevie Wonder? That was Stevie Wonder song?
Yeah, we'll do
There's a
that
story
too.
behind that.
We'll do that too.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll be right back here on Middleboro in Review on WVBF 1530 AM 99.7 FM.
So, true story. My sister loves Stevie Wonder. We go to New Orleans, because he's singing somewhere in New Orleans, I don't know where. And she ends up staying, she's with her husband, they end up staying in the same hotel, unbeknownst to them, as Stevie Wonder. She gets on the elevator after getting something in the gift shop to go back up to her room. And in walks Stevie Wonder and his entourage. And she's blown away. And she says, Mr. Wonder, I probably shouldn't do this, but I'm going to do it anyways. I respect and admire your music so much and how talented and beautiful man you are. He goes, what's your name? She goes, it's Deborah. He goes, Deborah, come here. Grabs her hand and sings a song to her and invites her into his suite with all of his people and stuff. He goes, go down and get your husband and come up to my suite. True story.
That's awesome.
I mean, talk about timing. Like, she just happened. If she didn't go to the gift shop at that exact time, she wouldn't even. She goes, I didn't even know the guy was staying in the hotel.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh, hey, look, here it is.
Yeah, and we have a commercial for Matthew Mission as well on this particular commercial.
The Matthew Mission, I should take my students over there. They did a great job, but they're
Where are they at, Taunton?
They're right over here.
They're out top,
but
yeah.
they changed the whole, because Mark Cook, who's from Middleboro, who used to run it, got very sick.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, but they had a warming station. For about 5 years, we went there, a warming station for homeless people.
Would you ever consider taking the presidency back over there?
Probably not. It's
Yeah.
very, very time consuming. And she's got her. It's my crisis was the church lost 2 boilers, and they had to go over to the that Father Rocher building, which doesn't even have heat in it. They had to move the whole thing over, and they were also, this is for the Giving Tree, and they were all so upset. And that's what, and they were upset with the priest. They were they were upset because they had done it that way for like how many years they'd done it, and they had to change their whole way of doing things. So they were like trying to get the priest to open up another church, and it was like Sacred Heart was closed, I think, for when they put maybe for like 3 months. Or 2
Why?
months.
Is that where the boilers went?
Yeah, the boiler went. And
When that go? Last year?
Yeah, it would have been because it was last year.
Yeah, well,
So 2022. Yeah, was that 22? Yeah, it was 22.
end of 22.
Yeah, the end of 22. Man, it was and they always used, and they had to move it over to the parish hall where you went. They had to move. They were upstairs. They did it, and they had to move it over to Father Rocher, and the conditions were not very good. I mean, they were deplorable. And the priest is a really nice guy, and he was trying to explain to them that I have to, we have, because they were having mass was taking place where they normally did the giving tree, so it was a big shift for them. So
45 seconds.
And who knows,
strong
who
personality.
knows what the boilers cost?
Oh yeah. Well, they were able to raise it because I think like 3 families gave like 90% of it. I mean, people were giving.
Well, how much were the boilers? Like
Oh, it was
25,000, more than that.
more to put it in and everything. More than
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And I think they
For a regular house, it's 10
yeah,
grand.
I think they raised maybe $40,000 within a couple of weeks, but
And
it was
then
very
and
expensive.
being in, is it oil or gas?
I believe it was oil.
Yeah, well, so yeah, and then what the deal is there is there was a lot of shortages even with those pots.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And welcome back as I turn the music down. There we go. It is 7:53 a.m. We have a couple more minutes. We're going to do our Today in Histories right now, and then our musical recommendations. We have 3 songs we want to do for musical recommendations today, so we're going to get to that in just a second. But our Today in History is as follows. February 4th, 1789, George Washington is unanimously elected as the first president of the United States by the U.S. Electoral College. 1801, John Marshall is sworn in as Chief Justice of the United States, one of the most important Chief Justices in the United States history, and George Washington being one of the most important presidents in the United States history. 2004, Facebook, a mainstream online social networking site, is founded by Mark Zuckerberg and Eduardo Severin. 20 years now for Facebook. Doing my show on Facebook Live. Shout out to everyone who's listening on the Facebook this morning. 20 years old Facebook has turned now. Wow. Birthdays on this day. 1831, Oliver Ames, American financier and politician. He was the 35th governor of the state of Massachusetts. Don, you'll like this next birthday. Born on this day on February 4th, 1929, Jerry Adler. Hesh from Sopranos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that character.
He was pretty much there the entire season, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. He was such a cool cat.
He was cool.
Yeah, especially he was like this big record producer guy.
Yes, he was a record producer.
I don't know.
He was great.
Yeah.
1947, Dan Quayle, American sergeant, lawyer, and politician, 44th Vice President of the United States. Vice President under who, Don?
George H. Bush.
Yes.
John, spell potato for us.
I met him. I met Dan. A little story about Vice President Dan Quayle, and I didn't know it until I met the. I went for the Marriott, and I got the call to go key off an elevator. I went to the Boston Marriott Copley, and he says, "I think the Terry's coming, so it's key off elevator 4." So I go down there waiting. State police officer shows up. I says, "Are you we waiting on the key office?" He says, "Yeah." And I said, obviously the state police, yep. He says, "Yeah, former Vice President Dan Quayle's coming to speak upstairs." Okay. Where's the Secret Service? He didn't get. George Bush Sr. got rid of his Secret Service detail after 6 months.
Wow.
It's up to the president.
Yeah.
So
Really?
yeah. So
The current president, not who he served under.
No. We at the time.
Okay.
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 At the time.
Okay.
I mean, George H. Bush was the and then you get it 6 months or something like that, and that's what the Shady told me. So his protection. He obviously gets protection. I shook his hand, said hello, just that's about it.
Did you ask him how to spell potato?
No, that was so ridiculous.
You wanted to, though. I know you did.
No,
I can see your
that was
face.
so ridiculous.
You wanted
Give me
to.
a break.
All right.
Yeah. Another birthday.
I mean, the guy was in the military. He was a sergeant.
Another birthday we have is Alice Cooper, born on this day in 1948.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah. Our passings today. 1982, Alex Harvey, the singer-songwriter of the sensational Alex Harvey Band, among a lot of other bands as well, but that was his most well-known. Very good. Very good. He's from Scotland. 1987, Liberace passed away on this day. American singer-songwriter, pianist.
Yep.
2012, Florence Green, English soldier, passed away on this day in 2012. At the time of her death, it was thought that she was thought to have been the last surviving veteran of the First World War from any country. She was a member of the Women's Royal Air Force. So she passed away on this day in 2012. Our musical recommendations. We got 2 Neil Diamond songs. We'll do those first. Forever in Blue Jeans, again a song by Neil Diamond, co-wrote with his guitarist Richard Bennett. Released in February of 1979 on the album You Don't Bring Me Flowers. Very, very big and important song for him. One of many of his hits, for sure. Along with this one, I Am, I Said. The song written and recorded by Neil Diamond, released on March 15th, 1971. First slowly climbing the charts, then more quickly rising to number 4 on the U.S. pop singles chart in May of 1971. The B-side to I Am, I Said is Done Too Soon. I want to make sure I mention that, because there are some B-sides there to mention too. And we got one Stevie Wonder song to talk about too. Sir Duke, a song composed and performed by Stevie Wonder. It is now from his 1976 album, Songs in the Key of Life. Great album cover there for that album. Reached number 2 in the UK singles chart. This is a biggest hit there at the time. And Billboard ranked it 18th. Number 18th in the songs of 1977. Song was written in tribute to Duke Ellington, the influential jazz legend who died in 1974. Lyrics also refer to Count Basie, Glenn Miller, Louis Armstrong, and Ella Fitzgerald. He recorded the song in 1995 for his live album Natural Wonder. The B-side is He's Mr. Know-It-All. So there you go.
Story behind that song, a little bit.
You got about 1 minute to tell.
Oh, I'll do 30 seconds. Can you say Chuck?
Yes.
But my coach from Little League was playing that, driving me a ride home in 1976. And the guy's name is Rick. And it was the coolest moment in my life listening to that song because he was just going off on that song on the radio. I don't think he was paying attention to the road. And we were loving it. We were loving it. And we went in this 73 Pinto, okay? So we're driving home, and it was just a wonderful moment. It's just, it reminds me of, if anyone see Planes, Trains, and Automobiles,
one of my favorites.
The part with John Candy on the doing the mess around there.
Oh,
he's sitting there playing the piano on the thing. He wasn't even paying attention to the road. So
You're going the wrong
one of those
way.
moments.
Thank you, Chuck, for being here.
Always a
once
pleasure,
again.
John, and
Yeah.
happy birthday.
We'll see you again
next month.
Next
month.
I
The first
actually
Sunday in March.
I always
which
look forward to
is-
it.
Have that number.
Yes, I will.
You know what we're gonna
Memorize.
do? We're gonna get send you.
I'm gonna memorize it.
We're gonna send you like a neon
March
style with that
3rd.
number.
So we'll see you once again on March 3rd.
Joey and John, thank you so much
Thank
for
you
having
so
me.
much.
Always a pleasure.
No, it's a pleasure. Yeah, thanks for the
And
coffee.
stay tuned. We have Bread of Life coming up with Pastor Ortez Vandross coming right up here on WVBF. Bye, everybody. See you next week.
You guys rock. That was good. That's so much fun.
Yeah, we had fun.
We did. It's like you said. We're celebrating life. We're celebrating all of that stuff.
I mean,
Joey, you do a great job, my friend.
Thank you so
You do
much.
a great job. You're very sincere.
He's looking at me. Henderson.
You guys have like 3 separate times on that.
It was
Like,
Harry
why?
and the Hendersons. That's what it was.
But
Harry
he
and
likes
the
it because
Hendersons.
I'm always giving him crap about it. So when he can give me crap, he's all over it.
I'm the same with names. Like my
Bye, everybody.